The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Good evening. If you're just hanging in there with us, thank you so much. Give me one sec, guys. You're listening to UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network. This is the Angel Rock, but I'm trying to get TikTok started. You guys know I always got to wait till we go live, so thanks for your patience. Did we do it? I think we did it. Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for hanging tight with us this evening. Let me just open up the live page over on TikTok so we can include you guys while we're watching. So, okay. Good. So I have a familiar face next to me, as you guys see. Thanks for the patience. I apologize if you're watching, and we have Jill's LinkedIn. I'm sure she's lovely, but Shawn and I don't know who she is, and we tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing is working. So gremlins in the machine. So I'm going to do a little bit of my housekeeping as I always do at the beginning, and then Shawn and I are going to have fun with all of you tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Good day there, Miss Mish.
Yes, we're going to say hi to everybody, Shawn. So again, I should tell you who I am. I said it's the Angel Rock. I'm Lorilei Potvin. I've been a host on the network 6 years. It's my anniversary month this month on UPRN. I also host a second show on the network with my very good friend, Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Beneath the Hollow Moon. And I'm going to give Carrie Lynn Shellhorn a shout out for her own show on Fridays here on UPRN, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A little bit about myself. If you haven't been here before, I'm a Canadian psychic medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher, and mentor. I'm also a registered nurse. I'm a budding, Julie's not in the chat yet, so she can't give me heck. She always says I'm not budding, but I am, animal communicator. I'm well versed in near-death experiences. I had one as a toddler, and I've studied them for over 40 years professionally and personally. And I'm extremely well versed in the paranormal. I never went looking for it. It found me when it came to the paranormal. And I've shared our story on the Travel Channel's Paranormal Survivor Season 4, Episode 9. It's called Demonic Hauntings. You can find it all over the place. It's even on YouTube. Also, if you guys like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends and family. Not everything on the network is just paranormal or UFO-y type things. We're always bringing on new hosts on the network, and there really is something for everybody on here. This network's been around over 25 years, and we do broadcast to every country in the world. That there's the potentiality. So if people are listening, they can join in. And like I say, that's what I was going to say. We have multiple hosts streaming 7 days a week live. And when we're not streaming live, the archive server kicks in and picks shows randomly over the 25 plus past years. So we're live all the time, but there really is something, like I say, for everyone here. Now, if you guys want to watch us on TV, the network does have its own TV channel. You're going to go to Roku. You're going to go to the channel store. Usually there's a code to plug in. I haven't been able to get that from Joe. So the easiest way to find it is to type in the search bar in the channel store, UFO space P as in paranormal. There's a drop-down list, and you're looking for UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio. Also, Mondays here on UPRN is sponsored by the incredible brand Carnation. So they also sponsor my show, The Angel Rocks. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Carnation. And Carnation is a well-known brand all around the world. So please support them because they bring all of our shows on Mondays here on UPRN. And we're very grateful for that. I always like to also let you know, please hang tight after this show because we have Preston Dennett and Dolly Saffron coming up in almost 2 hours with the light gate. Did I remember everything? I always say, if you can't see us, you can't join the conversation. 80% of our audience, I believe, is audio only from around the world. But if you are listening live and you're thinking, geez, I want to join in the conversation, I'm going to rattle it off quickly. If you can see us, you can join us on Facebook. We are on my YouTube, Facebook profile under Lorilei Potvin. We're on LinkedIn under Lorilei Potvin, the Angel Rock. I hope on Instagram. We're having problems, so you may see us. I'm not sure. We can't see the comments. So if you're seeing us, please don't think we're ignoring you. Also on my YouTube under the Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. We are also on the networks UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio on Facebook, as well as the main channel under the same name on YouTube. We are on my guest Facebook, which is also under Shawn Kelly. And we are back on TikTok. If you're over on TikTok and you are reporting my channel, they are working behind the scenes to find out who you are, because that's what happened. We were off for 5 days and no problems with my account. So please behave yourself and be nice. We'd love to have you join us. So please don't report a channel that's not doing anything wrong, because then we get more people joining us. And that's the point of doing this. So this summer, I decided, you know what? I have a lot of friends on the network, which I'm grateful for. Shawn Kelly, including one of them. And I thought, I have not had Shawn on in forever. So Shawn is the host of Into the Night on Sundays and I believe Tuesdays as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Also on the chat on Saturdays, which I usually join. With the summer right now, going out to camp and stuff, it's kind of iffy. And we also join Joe on News on the Flip Side on Friday nights. He's a paranormal investigator. He's an empath. I know he's had an NDE before. I know you have also, I believe, served in the U.S. military, and you're very intuitive. And I'm so grateful to have you here. Did I forget anything?
Oh, no, nothing at all. Nothing at all.
I'm glad you're here. Before we say hi, should we say hi to everybody in the chat? I'd like to start at the top and just give everybody a shout out. So let's see. Thanks for your patience.
You?
What's that?
Do I follow you after you say everybody's name?
I don't know. You just join me. We're co-hosting tonight. So, and by the way, Jill is not here if you're just joining us. That's why we are a few minutes late. Shawn and I both know how to work StreamYard well. And between the two of us, I don't know why that's there. Our names are not up on the screen. We tried everything. So I don't know who Jill is. I'm sure she's lovely, but I don't know why that's up there. So we have the lovely Heidi Gall saying much love.
Yes.
From
Hi,
Boulder.
Heidi. Much love to you.
We love you and we love everybody here, but we're so glad you're here. She said, hello, Shawn, dearest, bestest friend.
She is, man. She is. She
Heidi's
is
amazing. And we've got, I always like to tease Miss. She's my birthday twin. My birthday's coming up next month. And because Michelle, I always say, is in the future because she's in Australia. So it's Tuesday morning. I say we're birthday twins because her birthday's on the 14th of August and mine's the 15th. So we kind of intersect with the time difference. So I call her my
there you go. That sounds interesting.
And let's see, Shawn, let you guys know I was so glad. It's so nice when you have somebody that knows how to work all the buttons, and he just took care of letting you guys know technical issues.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Wojo.
Let's see. We've got Michelle Wilfong. Hello, in the car listening. I'm going to give Michelle a huge shout out. She is my mod on TikTok. She's amazing. She's got an incredibly haunted apartment over. She shares a lot on TikTok. So please check her out. And thank you for all that you do to help me out behind the scenes on TikTok. Michelle, I appreciate it. Let's see. We got Kurt W75. He said, hey,
my boy.
Hey, glad to see everyone. Hope all are having a great Monday. And speaking of Mondays, I'm going to do it because it is a monumental birthday. I only have one son now. He is my eldest, and it's his 30th birthday today. So happy birthday, Logue.
Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday.
So is this who you were saying, Wojo?
Yeah, that's Wojo.
Hi, Stephen. Yeah. I've heard your name. All good, but I haven't met you. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's see.
We got Kevin, Z-Son.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, Z-Son Dragon. I always call him by his muggle name, Kevin. Kevin, I got your message because he supposedly picked up another EVP when he re-listened to Carrie Lynn and I's show on Thursday. I'm getting to it, so thank you for that. We always appreciate when people let us know when you hear things like that. Let's see. Kathy Henley Little. Hello, all. She's saying to everybody, good to see you
Hi,
here.
Kathy. Yes.
I think we got almost everybody. Shawn, I think we did. Oh, Julie Jean Bassett, were your ears burning, Julie? I was doing my intro. I said, I don't think Julie's here yet. I said, I'm a budding animal communicator. You guys, I always take the time to shout out Julie. She not only is my animal communication mentor, I have taken her course, which is incredible. She has helped me as well as many of my friends too. If you've got problems with your animals and you're at your wit's end, it's like, what do I do with these guys? Like, nothing is getting through. I'm telling you, she can really help. She's an incredible healer. I have seen monumental changes when Julie has worked with animals and long distance. She doesn't need to be in front of you. She's also able to work with them over the Rainbow Bridge, and she's an incredible shamanic practitioner. I had a session with her, gosh, it's probably 9 or 10 months ago now. It was life-changing. She has a new website for it. I'm giving you her old website because I keep telling you I'm going to commit the shamanic practitioner site to memory, and I always draw a blank when I'm saying it. So you can get a hold of her at juliejeanbassett.com. That's her animal site. And she's also on Facebook, I believe, as well. So if you let her know what you're looking for, she'll be able to sort you out. And I know she always shares the link with absolutely. Go ahead again, Julie. We'd love that. Thank you for the birthday wishes for Logan. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Let's make sure we got everybody here. I think so. Thank you, guys. You know what, Shawn, I always say this. I know we said it off air. Don't we just have the best audience?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
They share our shows. They ask the best questions. They are always so kind to one another. You know, people that have never been to a show. Don't you agree?
Oh, I totally agree. When they're watching my show, I call them my guardian angels.
I love that.
They are my guardian angels.
Speaking of your show, you know what? I don't believe that there's anybody that hasn't heard of your show, but please tell people a little bit more about your show because it's on 2 separate nights here on the network.
Okay.
So
Sure.
People know.
My show is called Into the Night with Shawn Kelly. I am on Sunday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. on UPRN Talk Radio, this platform. And on Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m., same on this platform here. Now, my 2 shows, my Sunday show is my laid back show. Okay. It's the end of the week, you know, and people had a rough week, you know, they were out for the weekend, you know, probably, ate too much or drank too much or whatever. So they just come in and just listen. And there are a lot of soft topics. Okay. Nothing biggie. It's kind of like the show.
On there. And that's why I said, oh my gosh, Shawn, I have not had you on forever. Yeah. So I got to have you on. And what's different with the Tuesday?
Tuesday night's a little bit more hardcore. I delve into witches, paranormal, UFOs, aliens. I bring guests on that would not fit into my Sunday night platform. You know what I mean? And but it's just great. Both nights are doing pretty good. Especially my Sunday night is doing decent, really good. And I just, and you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Lori. I mean, there are some Sundays and Tuesdays that I don't even know the topic before the show starts, and then I just start talking, and then I go.
Yeah, but don't you find sometimes those are the best shows?
Yes,
right?
They
because
are.
You interact with the audience, and then, you know, and we're both very intuitive, and then, you know, you hear from spirit as well, and then tapping into what the audience is talking about. I love doing shows on my own. I don't get to very often, but I was on a previous network. I had no idea what I was doing. I was going to say no, and being very, very a noob, they said, you want your own show Monday through Friday? It'll be 2 hours. And I was going to say no. I said yes. And it takes a long time to meet people in the field and get guests and things like that, right?
Yes, exactly. And you know what? For me, it's my ADHD. So
I've accepted. I think I have it too.
Yes. So it's
it.
like I'll have my mind. We'll say like, okay, I want to have Lori on my show.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is like after Tuesday, so I want you on my Sunday show.
Yeah.
And I said, I want Lori. And then by the time Saturday comes around, I never ask you. And then I remember, like, oh shit, I was supposed to have Lori on,
You
but
can
I never
always
got
hit
to
me
it.
up at the last minute because I tell people my weeks are busy, the weekends are quiet, and we're supposed to be getting internet out at the camp. So
Oh, cool.
like at least they're putting in the possibility of having it. I did put that up there already with Kevin. He goes, yeah, just let Joe ramble at the end of the week. LMAO.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you what, Kevin, I love Joe. He's a good
We
dude.
both
He's
do. We love Joe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but he does talk a lot.
Well, we should
Yeah.
let people know that are listening. They're probably thinking, who is Joe? Because we're on TikTok, and I believe I'm the only one on the network that figured out
I want to be on TikTok. You're going to have to show me how to do it, please.
I will. There's a little hack to do it, but you have to do it while you're live. That's kind of why I also changed my intro. It is copyright free, and I'm gonna let a little secret in. You know who I borrowed this from? I really, really respect the Foreman Brothers Paranormal Nightmare. And they didn't use it as an intro. They were playing it as a background song in one of their episodes. And so I did a lot of research. Thank God for the app. My brain just went absolutely blank here. Starts with this. It's not, I don't want to say serious. It's not serious. It's the app that you click. I'm going to find it right now. It'll take me to Shazam. I got it even before I found it. And it'll tell you the name of any song. Any song. If you click on it, you play it, and it'll tell you. So I did quite a bit of research, quintuple check to make sure it's copyright free because I really liked it. It's kind of a cool song. So I got a longer intro though because in order to go live on TikTok, it takes a little finagling. You can only add it after you've gone live, and you have to add a couple codes. You'll be able to do it though. I know you will.
It'll take me about 3 or 4 years to do it, but I know I can do it.
No, Shawn, I know you know how to use it with you trying to help me before to figure out who Jill is or how we could remove Jill.
Well, have you noticed something? Check this stuff out. Check this shit out, right? Yeah. So Kevin, I just highlighted what he just said.
And it disappeared. I know, I noticed that
already. It disappeared. Yeah.
And then when you take it off,
it comes back on again.
I was going to say, though, gotta let people know, I don't know how you wouldn't know, but Joe Montaldo is the owner of the network, has numerous shows on the network, and he provides this beautiful place where we have all these wonderful hosts that come together and put the shows together. So
and they're great. Don't forget Michelle. Don't forget Michelle.
Oh, gosh, yes, Michelle. How could I not? Michelle Roche. You're going Michelle, and I'm thinking Michelle in the chat. Michelle. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. It's been a crazy week. Michelle DeRoche is our station manager. We love Michelle. She has on the Outer Realm on Tuesdays, and then the Outer Realm Wednesdays and Thursday evenings. And I think I've told you this before, Shawn, but I don't know if I have. So I did not know Michelle. I had heard of her, and we filmed our Paranormal Survivor episode quite a few years ago. You don't get to meet anybody, nothing at all. Like, say somebody saw it for the first time. That's how I would have seen the episode if I, first time I watched it. And they call in some experts to comment on the case. And guess who was one of the experts?
No way, really?
Michelle
Awesome.
And I didn't know her when it happened, and now I know her very, very well.
Was she nice? Oh, I want to thank Kevin for that very nice comment that you made, sir. I appreciate it.
Love it. Yes, and I'm going to read it. He said, "Love Into the Night with Shawn as well." So, so Heidi's asking, Kevin, is what you picked up on the audio a man's voice or sound like someone on Facebook calling that notification? He'll tell you, but I know I seen his notification, but the other little trick I do is because I'm talking to so many people in the daytime, as most of us do if we're at our jobs or working as I do. Sometimes you can talk to 100 different people in the daytime. And so I take the weekends off from social media. So I use Mondays and Tuesdays to get caught up with messages. If it's something urgent, yes, I will deal with it. But I find it helps keep me grounded and a little bit of sanity that way. So,
I don't
so
even care. I don't even mess. I don't even check my messages. I mean, I see who it's from, and
mhm.
I just don't. I'm so bad about doing that. But I'm
Yeah,
sorry, and if people
you
don't
always
like
get
it,
back to
but
me if I message you or
it's
like if
my it's my ADHD, and I'm serious with that. I
mhm.
just I'm too busy or I'm too lazy. You know what I mean?
Well, weekends are so short too, right? And
Oh
see,
God,
you
yes.
guys get summer, right, in Pennsylvania. I know, or not summer, sorry, winter in Pennsylvania. I know that you do.
Yeah.
And where I am in Canada, for people that maybe haven't been here before, I'm in this strange place called Thunder Bay. It's about 40 minutes away from the Minnesota border and about 6.5 hours north of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we have absolutely every kind of paranormal you can possibly think of, and many, many other things with high strangeness that there are no explanations. Now, we
Right.
are on the shores of the largest of the five Great Lakes, Lake Superior, and we have a lot of First Nations histories and legends, like with the sleeping giant that guards the world's largest untouched silver mine. And apparently, anybody that's tried to touch it, they've lost their life.
I'll be damned. Huh.
And then on the west side of the city, rurally, we have it's called Kakabeka Falls, and it's also nicknamed the Little Niagara of the North. And these two legends intersect. Actually, the in Ojibwe, it's the legend of Nanabiju, the sleeping giant. It's about 10 or 15 minutes away from my home. And I would be at the marina, and it looks like I could probably pull up a picture. It looks like a giant laying on its back like this, and the
Oh,
legends intersect. It's quite interesting.
that's just that would be now here in Pennsylvania.
Let's
Okay.
hear about some of yours. Yes, I don't think I've
Oh
ever
my
asked.
God, man. We are ranked, Pennsylvania, especially in Western Pennsylvania,
Hi,
where
Connie.
I'm at.
Hmm.
Um, we are like ranked fifth in the top 10 of cryptids and Bigfoot.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, yes. We have Chestnut Ridge Mountains,
I don't think
and
I've heard about that. Can you tell me more about it? Because I don't think I've ever heard you talk about that.
um, well, I never been to the mountains because I'm a city boy and I hate going out in the woods. I'll be the first one to admit that. That's no problem
That's
there.
okay. Hmm.
But
It's still
for all the
stories.
shows, yes, well, the shows that I've had, the people I've had on, and when I was on with Jenny, um, we had people that have investigated Bigfoot up there,
Mhm.
investigated cryptids, and Chestnut Ridge, beautiful, beautiful mountains. And I
Mhm.
do believe they are part of the Appalachia.
Oh, well, then
Um,
that makes
but you
sense.
know what? But here's a little tidbit for people who do not know this. Okay,
Mhm.
that Pittsburgh, where I live, is the biggest city in the Appalachian Mountains. We're
Oh, wow.
literally in the yes, we are literally in the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay. Hi, Sean.
Yes. So um
Do you have feral people? I have so many questions because I've dug deep into some parts of the Appalachians. So
no, I do not believe we have
I
feral
know they're
people.
not
We
every,
might
and it's such
what
a long ridge of
oh
mountain.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I know that whenever the Irish and the Scottish came over from Ireland and Scotland, a lot of them moved to the mountains and they never came off the mountains. That's why if you listen to country Western music, the old time, okay, with the fiddles, you know, Patsy Cline and all that, even before her time, all the fiddle playing, they learned that, or they were Irish people or Scottish people actually playing those songs. And I kind of feel great about that because it's, you know, I could have family up there, you know, and
I've
I
heard
think,
Patsy Cline. I've heard it.
yeah,
And I'm going to tell you guys, it's not EVPs. I have my grand puppy, Rogie, beside me, and he's decided it's a great time to lick his paws. And my dog end of the bed is panting. Just so you know, if you hear noises, it's them.
I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing, huh?
He is literally like right here. He's a little Boston Terrier. And
Oh,
they're man puppies. So, and his
do they have
brother.
zoomies? Does he zoomy?
Oh, they all day, and it's been so hot. But his older
Uh-huh.
brother, Scouter, is like a corgi beagle, and he's a senior dog. And oh my gosh, smartest dog. But I'm so worried if he climbs the stairs or goes down. And it's okay. Like he went up last night, but I know my son had told me he had slipped on the stairs at their house a week or two ago. And so I told him, stay down here. Air conditioner's on down there. Just chill till Grammy's done. So, oh goodness. Speaking of it, and it never fails. Whenever I go live, it's a big joke. People always message me. Actually, my son just did tell me he's going go-karting, I guess, because he's out on the West Coast right now.
Oh, wow. Cool. Tell him to be careful.
Oh, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. I'm not I was never really a helicopter type mom with him. And I mean, obviously I looked after both my boys, but I don't know. I know that some of the ways up here with the Ojibwe, I'm being a nurse. I developed a community nursing course to teach at the local college here for fellow nurses and registered practical nurses or RPNs. And some of the best classes, well, this was years ago, I had was an elder from the reserve, because the reserve up the highway is only 15, 20 minutes away. And he talked about culture and child rearing and stuff, but it really resonated with me. I got pregnant during the course with my eldest son. That's how long ago it was. But he talked about how children learn within their culture the old way, right? Instead of constantly saying, no, 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 no. It's hard, but you stand back. You might tell them once. And if they continue, as long as they're not going to get hurt, you let them discover from their own experience. So that's what I've tried to do with my boys.
Absolutely. So good. But see, I was raised, I'm old myself. A lot of people say I'm not, but my mom.
I'm 60 next month, so.
All right, I'm 60. I'm 63. I am.
There
63.
You go.
And I look good. I am hot looking. Yes, I am.
You do.
It's all in the beard. I know that.
Before you go into your story, I just had a flash of, wouldn't that be funny if we had the host of UPRN as a calendar? Go ahead, tell your story. That just flashed into my head. Go ahead.
Oh, cool. That would be good. Talk to Michelle about that. She'll be laughing. No, she'd probably like it. No, what happened was I took a poll on my show last night. I was like,
oh, okay. Tell us
should I shave my beard? And people are afraid. Well, Heidi says, kind of like, nah, you better not. You know, it was like,
I met you when you didn't have a beard, and I'm so used to you having a beard.
Right. So. I'd shock everybody, but you know what? My guardian angels that watch my show, you know, I'm just keeping the beard. I look like Santa Claus, you know, so it kind of look cool.
You're much thinner than Santa Claus.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
It's part of you. So if you know what, and I really believe this, that if you feel like you look good and you like the way you look, right, you project that energy and that confidence going forward. And I think that that's all that matters, right?
Right. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And it looks good on you.
I know. I'm kind of hot looking. You know.
I was thinking that with the summer. Because normally, if you see me, my hair is piled, because my hair is really long. So it's always piled up in this heat. It's just too hot.
A killer. It is too hot. Yeah, absolutely. And even with the beard, it gets a little too hot. But thank goodness I work in a meat room. I'm a meat cutter.
Also, it's chill. It's chilly in there.
Like 48 degrees year round.
Mm-hmm. So Kevin says, I always call Kevin by his muggle name. I say Z Sun Dragon. He says, birthday month host calendar. Yes, LOL. Okay, so if this comes to be, right, because who knows, I've heard whisperings we may have a merch store coming up with UPRN in the future. Shawn and I get to lay claim to the fact that we came up with this idea, Shawn. Okay.
Yep. We'll sell beards.
Oh,
Well,
Heidi says I put my phone down and couldn't find it. LOL. The beard is so you, Shawn.
why,
And
thank you,
Kevin
dear.
says Shawn is cute with his hats. LOL. I used to wear hats. I have a pile of hats. But your previous co-host was wearing hats and she's dark hair. Well, I don't have dark hair anymore. It's purple, but I had dark hair and I thought, okay, I'll stop wearing them. I don't want to look like we're the Bobbsey twins are copying each other. But I used to wear hats all the time.
Yeah, this is my Irish hat. I like it. I look good in it too.
I
I
love
just
hats. I have
yeah.
one that I made. I should grab it, but it's like a black top hat, and I love resin, and it's got like a resin cameo and then like antique almost
Oh,
roses.
sweetness, man,
Now I
sweetness.
gotta grab it. I don't usually get up, but I'll grab it and I'll show you guys.
Okay.
But I have all kinds of hats. So I used to wear them. There's
Yeah,
about
hats are good because if I don't have a haircut, look at it. It's all messy and stuff like
I
that.
have
So,
some
like,
steampunk hats. I have all kinds of them because and like now, right now it's hot, but especially for having a bad hair, it's got dog hair on. I haven't had it on in a while, but see,
oh wow, that's cool as hell.
yeah. So I
I
made
like that.
this and I put it all together. So I have lots of
That's
different.
sweet.
Hmm.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Hi, Contessa. I said hi. I seen you sneak in. She says my dad loved wearing hats.
Yes, so did my dad.
I
So,
miss those days, don't you? When men used to wear a fedora
oh
and
my God, yeah. But
mhm.
my dad, he always had this like little fishing cap, like this little fishing hat.
Oh, did
You
he?
know, ones that they go, you see dudes wear on vacation,
Yep.
when they're at the beach,
Yep.
one of them little suckers. Yeah, he always wore one of those
Uh,
all the time. It didn't matter if he was going to a funeral or not, he'd always wear it. Oh,
part of
yeah.
him. It was part of him.
Hmm.
So I wanted to ask you because I
Okay.
said a little bit before we went live while we were trying to, not that we don't like Jill, we don't know who Jill is, but we couldn't get Jill's name off the screen. But I have noticed that the energy as of late has been insane. Now, I know I don't usually put a lot of stock in it, but I know people do. I'm not poo-pooing anybody. I just got this from Spirit years ago. What you perceive becomes what you believe, and it becomes your reality.
Right.
But I don't know because I am seeing it's almost like anybody that's been kind of snaky or doing devious stuff coming out, activity. Like we have had EVPs on the last couple shows. Like last week, I had Carrie Lynn and Michelle DeRoche on. Carrie Lynn and I have had a bunch. I'm hearing about activity. What's your thoughts? Are you seeing that? And you guys in the chat, let us know, please. Julie already said, yes, it's been insane.
Yes. No, I totally agree. And I brought this up on my show about 3 weeks ago. And
Mm-hmm.
I always bring it sometimes I bring it up. But no, people are evil. It's not that they're snakes, they're evil. People don't smile. People don't say hello.
Right,
People just treat everybody like they're a piece of shit, like they don't um it's just them and them only. And
right,
what's scary, especially where I work at, I look at the customers that come in, buying meat or whatever,
right.
and it's just like they're zombies. They just walk like they're not there. You know what I mean? It's like they're zombies. And I saw right hand up the spirit, man. I'm saying I saw a lady, her eyes were total black
Oh,
eyes,
I got to hear about this. So they were completely black.
completely black.
Okay, so
You
what did
know,
you do when you were around her? Because I know you would have felt something. Because I know I
oh,
would
I
have.
did. I could feel it coming a long way. And I had to find out. I That's who I am. I had to find out. So I went
Yeah,
up there and I just asked her, does she need help?
right.
No, no, just like that. And I'm like, okay. And then she avoided me. Okay.
Because you were on.
And what's that?
Because you were
Oh,
on tour.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. And it's funny. And I don't know if you want to call it funny or not, but if I'm walking down the street or if I'm in a store of some sort and there's an attachment to somebody, they go to the next aisle or
Yeah.
they run away from me or they cross the street. And that has happened a lot. you know.
I could understand that, right? Because one of the rules I believe, and just saying thanks to Michelle, because Wilfong, she's over on TikTok managing things. Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate that because she was driving. So thank you. But what it is, right? We know this within the paranormal world that like attracts like energy. And then
Hmm.
when you're intuitive like you are, I am too. I know one time, this was when I was even in my old house, I had run what used to be 7-Eleven, and it was at nighttime. It was only about 2 minutes away, and I had to park on the side, and it was kind of dark. I got out of the car, and I heard, "You need to walk behind your car and a circle out. Something
Right.
evil coming." This man, oh, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm thinking about it. Just pure evil in his eyes. And I kind of ran as fast as I could into the store. Now, he didn't hurt me, but I could
Right.
feel what was coming before I saw it.
I
Absolutely.
and to me, with us having that, we can see that and we can
Hmm.
feel it.
Hmm.
Okay, it gives us the edge, right? We know what is coming, and now I understand. It's just like went through my mind right now is that the reason why we're out to help people, and that's our job. We're to help. That's what we're doing. So it just popped into my brain, Lord, that
That's
okay,
spirit. Mhm.
yeah, oh yeah, oh
Mhm.
definitely. It was like, okay, that's why we have this gift. That's why we go and help people out. This is why we go talk with them. That's why
Mhm.
we go stand next to them because we know what is going to be happening to these people if we were not there. You know what I mean? And
That, but where I was going even with this, right? Because we know the laws of energy. Sorry, Cindy Mitch is here. I meant to highlight it. Sorry, Cindy. She said, "Much love, everyone. Thank you for being here." Is when we're seeing this, like what I'm actually seeing, and it's not just me, every person I have talked to, that it, not just in our field, um, people have nothing to do with any of this. It's not just locally, like all around the world. It's like people that have been around them that maybe they've sort of tolerated or thought they were super kind and wonderful. That's why I'm calling it snakes in the muck. All of a sudden, it's like it's all being cleared away, and you get to
right,
see exactly who they are. So to me, where I was going with the energy, right? Can either be created nor destroyed, but transferred to one place or another is what we can do with energy. Now
right.
that this is being revealed, and we just finished a full moon on top of this, I'm just wondering for paranormal activity, what that's causing. Like, are you seeing or hearing? Even with the cryptids, we have cryptids here, dogmen. We have Bigfoot, lots of paranormal, unexplained things. I have so many videos of things flying in the sky that I have no idea what they are. Like,
Right.
it's like whole city. And where I'm going with this, are you hearing or seeing more about this, or anybody in the chat?
Um, Honestly, no, no, not too many. And I'm even though I retired from paranormal investigating, I
Yes, I knew
still
we
am
had.
pretty close. I'm
Mhm.
pretty close to a lot
We
of
never get
people.
away
No, I know,
fully.
but a
Mhm.
lot of them have not had any investigations. A lot of people don't send emails anymore. It's crazy. Not in this area. But what I think is holding back in my area um, is that and there's a lot of people in the city of Pittsburgh, okay, and with all the bullshit that's going on happening out in the world today, in the
Mhm.
universe, there's a lot of negativity coming from a lot of people, okay,
That's why I brought it up, because
yeah,
that's what it is. Like, I'm going to agree with Kevin or Z Sun Dragon here. You guys feel free to let us know in the chat as well. Kevin saying, "My powers also feel heightened as of late. I can guarantee you they are going through the roof for me." He's also added, "Or maybe I'm just letting my walls down and listening more than usual." No, I have to agree with you, Kevin, because my partner at their camp had a break in, and I've never ever said this to them. I said to him, "I can see who did it. I'm telling you, I know
right,
what they look like. I can describe them to you, the age group, that where their hair is, their body build, the height. It's two boys, about 17, 18, and I wasn't out there, but he ended up talking to a few of the neighbors, and there was I found this out after, two teenagers never been seen around there wandering around into people's camps. Now, I'm not saying he did it. They haven't been
Right.
charged, caught, but how would I pick up on two boys? And I can see them. It's like it's a movie playing inside,
Yes.
inside of your eyelids, if you will, almost. Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Kurt says something here.
I'm just going to highlight. Feel free. I didn't tell you that, Shawn. If you see something you like, please go ahead, and we're co-hosting tonight, Shawn. So
Okay. I just okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What did you want to read for Kurt?
Kurt says, seems like more and more of the world's bullshit and bad energy is finally making its way to the surface.
Yes.
Times definitely feel eerie, intense, but also a lot of love and great humans stepping up as well. I like that.
I like that because you are right. You were right about that. But it seems like everybody I've spoken to as of late, like there was some pain, like a lot of pain when it's happening. But if you're able to, I'm not speaking to anybody in particular, step back a wee bit, even if you just have to stop and pause, because I guarantee you, as painful as it may feel for anybody hearing this, that's the universe helping to move something out of your way that shouldn't be there. It doesn't serve you anymore. And it's making room for something, I think, at least better, if not super, super better. What's your thoughts on that?
I totally agree with that, because things are getting better for me. And how they get better for me, and I don't tell this to everybody. In fact, this is the first time I'm telling people.
I'm glad you feel safe to do that.
Yeah, I do. When nothing goes right for me, okay, when everything is just dull or not working, people not calling me, people not sending me a text message, people I've known for a long time. Okay, that used to do it all the time. Now, I don't want people calling me. I hate talking on the phone. And, I hate using my thumbs. That's basically the only time, instead of texting, I'll call. But I know, but it just seems like after I go through this, a week later, I'm up here. And then I go through it again, and then I'm up here. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like asking Spirit, like, what the hell are you doing to me? Give me at least a chance.
That's what it feels like. Like, I love what Shawn said. I agree with that. Did you just hear that noise? Did you just hear? What was it?
I do not know. Hey, my
did you guys hear that?
I heard it. It was like a bark or a kid.
I heard like a high pitched. I don't know what that was, you guys. Mark it down. Well, I can pause actually because we're at station ID time. Hang on to that thought with Heidi there for just a sec. We also got Donna A. Capo says, hi, Shawn.
That's my girl. That's a good girl.
So if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network. We're broadcasting on FM and 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast and I can't talk tonight, Mississippi, and 107.7 FM out of the beautiful city of New Orleans. And this is the Angel Rock. I'm your host. We're co-hosting. I'm Lorilei Potvin, and this is our fellow UPRN host. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend to many. I can see in the chat as well, Shawn Kelly. And we're so glad that you could join us this evening. Thank you.
Yes. Feels good to be on the other side of the face. It feels good to be on the other side. It feels good to be on the right side.
So everybody's saying they heard it. That's what I heard.
Yes.
Like a giggle or a chuckle or something. Connie heard it. Julie heard it. I don't know who. Everybody heard it.
Contessa heard it.
That's what I heard. It was like a little kid.
It's crazy, man. And, I will tell you, when me and Jenny, I used to do Chasing Prophecy with Jenny Nicosia a long, long time ago. It seems like it. She's still my best friend. She's a good, very, very good best friend of mine. But we were doing a show on a different platform. And this is true, quote unquote. There was an EVP that they caught on our show. And it said, and I quote, "Go to hell, Shawn." Yes, quote unquote. If you ever talk to her, you ask her that.
Oh, I believe you. I know you
It
don't lie
said,
about
"Go to hell, Shawn." I was like, I'm already there, dude. So, oh
it. Have
yeah,
you heard though? And I know you have now that I ask you that because we played it one night on News on the Flip Side. An EVP that, and I never did EVPs in my previously haunted house that I lived in. My previous home, I should say, it wasn't previously. I don't know what's going on there now. I left it. But I called into a good friend of mine's show that I used to call in every week because I really meant that at the beginning. I never went looking for the paranormal. I had already felt
right,
that calling. I'd always been very intuitive. I had already taken like my certified angel card reading course and stuff. And that it all started with this dream, like it happened 10 minutes ago, let alone almost 17 years ago. And it was a man sitting in a tree in my front yard. I won't get deep into it. I've told it many
I
times on the
remember
show,
that.
but
Yeah.
he identified himself as a demon, told me his name, told me how to spell it, told me his animal form, tried to tempt me with ridiculous things like fame and wealth. And in my dream, it's not radio friendly what I told him to do and where to go. But so I didn't, well, I did. I'm surprised that I knew to, because I'm not a lucid dreamer. I'm getting better at it, but not
Right.
back then. And anyways, all heck did break loose after that dream. But it became a full-time job. Like I started locally, then I went province-wide, country-wise, US. Like I just worked my way around the world, and it was like a 20 to 22 hour a day job. I kid you not. I don't sleep a lot because I had to find out, like, what is this? Why is it
Right.
here? Why now? Why is this starting? So I was also told, do not interact with it. So I called into my friend Jason Bland. He has Paranormal Soup. I always give him a shout out because he always helped me out so much in the beginning. He's on YouTube and Facebook Sunday nights, I believe, from, if you're in Eastern, it's 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Has fantastic guests and what have you. But every now and then he has ITC night, and it happened to be a Halloween party. And I remember we
Oh,
played about a month or two ago on News on the Flip Side. That EVP was crazy. It was
yes, it
weird,
was. Yes. Yeah, I was there.
intelligent. It was unplanned. And the guy in the background that was working the equipment, he always used to give me a hard time in the chat. He used to say things like, well, I'm a paranormal investigator. I go all over the place. I've never had an interaction. I find this very hard to believe. And
Yeah.
so I don't wish ill will on him, but I can tell you, he was scared in the background. I don't know if you remember, Shawn, he's looking around like when he was trying to
Yeah.
off the
Yes,
equipment,
ma'am.
he was
I do
scared.
remember. And I think it's kind of funny, because you got these big bad so-called paranormal investigators that
Mhm.
look at me, and I got this equipment, I got
Yeah.
that equipment.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk into this house, and we're going to get some ghosts. We're going to get some evidence.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
just do is I sit back and I'm like, dude, you
How
might
bad?
make it. And
I'll be here
yes,
when you
go
need me.
for it. If you need me, maybe I'll walk away and grab a cup of coffee at the closest
Yeah.
diner.
Mhm.
Give me a call. I have learned in all the years that I have investigated the paranormal, if the number one thing that I had to learn was to be humble. Okay.
I'm so glad you
I
said that. Mhm.
I had to be humble because at the beginning I had that ego, that egotistical thing,
Mhm.
and it was spirit like slapping me in the face, like saying, you know what, slow down. You seriously need to be humble, and that's the very first thing I learned. So if you want to get into this business, you have to be humble. You are not the best ghost hunter out there.
No.
There are other people. There's nobody who's better than anybody. We're
Mm-mm.
all in this together to help people. But
Plus,
some
you have
people have
different.
more experience.
Plus, you have different experiences based
Yes.
on your energy. Plus, I have also noticed, and I'm not disrespecting any Leos, but I'm a Leo, and there are certain attributes with certain astrological signs. And no, I'm not an astrology pro for anybody, but I know that Leos have a lot of pride. They don't mind being the rock star of the show and
Yeah,
the
my
whole,
brother's a Leo. Yes, I think
yes,
he.
and it's true.
You
So
know,
I'm
it
very
is. Yes.
cognizant of that and have always really reminded, like, and I'm not an arrogant person, but I have no problem if I'm being the life of the party or what have you. But I keep that in mind. And I think the extra piece that also will happen, I don't know, you let me know, even if you wanted to get a big head, or I did, Spirit always has a way of giving you a good little
Yeah.
jab to remind you that, uh.
Can I? I'm going to share a story with you at one time.
Please do. Yeah. If you want.
So, and this is a true story. So I've been in the paranormal field for a while, but my I know Spirit put me on a path. Okay, and what happened was I wanted to go out on a date with somebody. Okay, just a date, and I told this girl, I said, I don't want to talk ghost. I don't want to talk about.
Shop. I do it all the
I
time.
I don't want to do nothing about the paranormal or ghosts. I just want to have a normal conversation, a normal cup of coffee and a piece of pie, right? So we get to the restaurant, sit down, boom. She gets a phone call from her mother saying that she needed to get home. And I was like, and I just saw how nervous she was in her eyes. I knew, I mean, it wasn't a like, let's get rid of this date type of thing, because I know her before. Yeah. And what happened was she left. And I looked up, honest to God, I did, in the restaurant, and I looked up, I said, well, what the hell is my purpose? Aww. What the hell is my purpose? Oh, I was pissed. I was pissed at God, basically, what it was. And from that time, it was about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. I get in my car, I'm going home, and I'm saying, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? On and on until I get it home. So I got home about 11:45. And before I went into bed, and I said, what is my purpose? But I said some other stuff I can't say on the radio. And 12 o'clock, the phone rang. It was a client. 12:30, another phone call. 1, another phone call. 1:30, another one. And 2 o'clock, another one. And then I said, okay, I know what my purpose is.
Okay, get the message.
And that's a true story. And after that, I did not get a phone call. But every time that my spirit guide or God, whoever you want to call, I call him God now. Whenever, I started to go swaying over to the other side, or not the other side of being evil, but walking on a different type of path.
Shush. Sorry.
She knew. Going down the other path, my archangel, who is Uriel, would smack me in the ass.
Yeah, that's what happens, right? Like,
get your ass back on that path, because I'll be honest with you, Lori, and I don't know if you ever felt this or not, but being the path. Hey, Joe Fox. Hey, Sebastian.
Hi,
but,
Sebastian.
I don't know if you ever felt like this, or if anybody out there who does what we do. It honest to God gets lonely. It gets lonely, and it gets tiring, and it gets boring, and it's like I want to try something different, and it just was monotonous, just doing the same things over and over and over and over and over again. And it didn't seem like that I was, progressing, into anything. And I was really getting tired of it. And it's like where I'm at right now where I'm at with me now. I'm okay with it. But at one point in time, I did not want to be on this path. My question to you, though, Lori, did we choose it, or did Spirit choose it for us?
I wholeheartedly believe that we chose what we have free will not to follow it. I think that we make agreements before we incarnate into the lifetime state that we're in right now. And
Okay.
I think for whatever reason, and we have choices. You don't have, like, I think we're here to learn lessons that we've picked. But for example, I always say, if say somebody has chosen the lesson of patience to come here to get better at patience as an everlasting energy and everlasting soul, whatever you want to call it, right? And I believe that's part of our mission, is coming here, growing, learning, and evolving. You can bet for sure, if you want to learn patience, you are not more than likely going to end up as a Buddhist on top of some mountain, no interaction with anybody, sitting there chanting and praying for 24 hours. More than
Right.
likely, your life is going to be surrounded by people who push your buttons, test your patience. And I also believe that once we finally figure it out, we master that lesson, then we don't get the people around us pushing the buttons anymore. But I think we set more than one thing. But
Hmm.
also what you said too, that I think that when we feel stagnant and we lose the energy, or we lose, you just don't seem to be going anywhere. You wonder, like, am I making a difference? I just don't have the, if you will, joie de vivre, the joy in it, like, about doing it. Then it's time to maybe again, if we can do it, takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of honesty, and almost separating yourself and stepping back, taking a breath. And this is sometimes when I work with people as a spiritual teacher and mentor, I will never tell you what your life purpose is, but I certainly work with you for you to discover what that is. So say,
Right.
for example, with the paranormal, right? And you've taken a step back, but you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, Shawn. So maybe, and I'm not telling you what to do, but maybe there's a book in you to share, or maybe to teach online, or even navigating right out of that field, taking a look at, what have I always wanted to do, but I've never tried?
Hmm.
There's courses out there. Because I don't find it lonely. And I've always lived in Thunder Bay. I'm even open to moving. All of my friends are online and from all over the world. And again, working with clients, I remind them of that, because we get used to that bubble that we're in. And it is a bubble where we live, right? But
Right.
we don't realize there's a whole world out there. And I think part of that is discovering too, what really excites me again, like, what can I do with this, or just pivot 180 from what you were doing, take a look at some of the things maybe you've always wanted to try or do. Does that resonate in any way, or with other people?
Whoa, what the hell was that?
Would
What
you
was
say?
that? What's going on?
Why?
Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
No. What do you hear?
Unscott, anybody else hear that?
Would you hear, Shawn?
I heard like someone um like
Oh,
talking into a
Shawn. Oh,
mic.
Kevin heard voices. Heidi heard it. I've got a thunderstorm going on right now. The energy's high, you guys. We've got Elder Medicine Bear Claw here. Welcome. Let's see. And Joe says, hi, Lorilei. I never get lucky enough to catch you live. So please tell us. I hear voices. Everybody's hearing it, but distorted. So please describe what you're hearing, Shawn, if you can.
It sounds like somebody being on a CB radio is what it sounds like. They're coming, yeah, coming in and out.
There's a lot of
But
energy,
see,
though.
distorted, yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
energy. I've got a thunderstorm going on right now. We both are pretty intuitive, psychic kind of stuff, right? And we're talking about powerful stuff right now.
right.
Says she heard
Now,
a
my ring light, there are times, and Cindy Mitch can even tell you this, and even Mission
yeah.
and Heidi.
Thanks, Kevin. Kevin's going to timestamp them for us. Thanks,
Thank you,
Kevin.
brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. But whenever spirit wants to be heard, he'll take my ring light, okay, and he'll
Okay.
make it blink from bright to dark to bright to dark.
Mine does that too. Like, it's really
Yes.
dark. And as soon as I say it, and then all of a sudden it'll just go light again.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Mother
So
Earth
Cindy
is
says
moving
she
around.
thought it sounded like a ham CB frequency.
Yes.
Okay, I could not hear it, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't happening, because sometimes you get it, both of us will hear it, sometimes everyone will hear it, sometimes none of us will hear it, and then somebody will be rewatching going, holy crap, you won't believe what I just heard as I was
Right.
listening.
Absolutely.
So
And I'm
Elder
glad.
Medicine Bear Claw says Mother Earth is moving around the earth. Could be. So I don't know. Does that resonate with you? Like what I shared? And if it doesn't, that's okay too. Or feel free to share your thoughts in the chat too, everybody.
What, can you repeat? Because I got
Well, what I
blown
was
away by
talking
that.
about was, like you had said, it gets kind of lonely, and you kind of like lose that enthusiasm for
Yeah.
some things
Yeah.
that were really felt powerful. They felt, really fulfilling. And so I said, that's when I'm working with clients. I will never tell a client what their life purpose is. That's not my job. I always look at it as it's like a Christmas gift that we've been blessed with, and whatever way we discover what's inside that Christmas gift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes people will work, like say with some of the stuff I do, or other people. There's many people that do it. I'm not special. But what I'm saying is, when we feel that way, because it can get really lonely,
Yes,
right?
it does. Yes, we can. We do. I
Mhm.
believe. I believe that.
Julie heard something too. No, but what I suggest is, and we get in a bubble. Like I said, for myself, I've lived in Thunder Bay my whole life. I am open to moving. And the other thing is, I'll even get people that'll say, well, I have nothing that excites me. For example, like, well, we'll take the paranormal for yourself. So you have the choice, right? You could 180 away from it, or build off of this incredible amount of experience and knowledge that you have. So,
Mm-hmm.
is there a book maybe that's in you to write? Is there the opportunity to teach online, so you don't have to go anywhere and you put your feet up and even pre-record it? It helps a little bit with income as well. I'm not saying you need, I'm just saying for anybody listening, it's just other ways of thinking. And it's like thinking like not outside the box, but like there is no box. So one more
Right.
thing to add. So if, say, I get someone that says to me, nothing excites me anymore, then if with their permission, we visit back to when they were a child.
Mm-hmm.
What excited you? What were your dreams? What brought you joy and happiness as a child? Or are the things that you've always wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
but you've never had the opportunity? Right? There's a whole
Right.
wide world out there. Like I said, my circle is all over the world now. I don't even really, I actually shocked when I do get out and things build up around me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I haven't been out in a while. But anyways, well,
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I mean, once I get home from work, I'm just like, I don't want to go back out. I'm tired.
the light.
I mean, I'm tired. I deal with people 8 hours a day, and you know what? I don't mind. I mean, a lot of people go shopping at my store just to see me. When I used to work for Giant Eagle, I my best customers decided to leave Giant Eagle and come over to Shop and Save where I work because I
Oh,
was there at that store. You know, but to me, it just seems like whenever you know what? Well, hold on. Very wrong. I don't need to answer that. But for me, and I like what Heidi says, rather be in her safe zone personally. I come to find out that I cannot be in my safe zone. I can't because my job is to go out there and fight or battle demons
mhm.
or angry ghosts who
So
are
with
hurting people.
that being said, hold that thought, please, just for one sec. I love what Cindy Mitch said. To be honest, I have so much going on at the same time. I was told I am limitless. I am the only one that limits me, which is 100% true. I concur. But where I was going with this is, when all this stuff with the demons, and I'd have a lot of dark stuff, I have seen people levitate on camera. I have looked into human beings' eyes that I never want to see that look again. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one to say everything's a demon. If that was not a demon, I don't know what was. Crazy, crazy story. I've told it on here a few times. And I remember going to my Akashic Records mentor after this happened. Like it really freaked me out. It was in my old house. And I seen somebody that was a really good person, but had such an evil attachment just with one look. The dogs were crying. Her dogs were crying just from looking. Her kid that was an adult, a young adult, was doubled over in pain just from the look.
Mm-hmm.
It was She was gone. That was not her, not her voice, not what I was seeing. I saw her levitate on the camera. And I'm in a different country, 3 hours away. After this happened, I didn't know the people that I know now when this happened. And I ended up calling somebody on the West Coast. They didn't see the levitation. Um, I think they tried their best, but they weren't a lot of help. But I remember sitting there. So it would have been about 3 o'clock in the morning, our time, when this happened. So I got off the phone because I didn't know what else to do. And I was sitting there about an hour and a half later. I always say I'm a retired Catholic, was forced to go to church, Catholic school, whatever. But I was sitting there and I thought, what just happened? So I start saying the Our Father, not out loud, just praying it within the mind space. I
Right.
got a message on Messenger, I kid you not, that said, cut that effing shit out. This
No.
person, another country, 3 hours behind. And then about an hour later, I got, it's time. And then I got mad and I said, time for what? Never heard anything else again. But I did go to my Akashic Records mentor because I was asking, like, why does this keep happening? I know it's a long story, but I promise it'll make sense in a second. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I said, why does this keep happening? I've always said I never want to work with the dark. I only want to work in the light. And so with my permission, she went into the records. And again, with my permission, she said that she could dissolve any contracts, agreements, anything I had with this person prior, from past lifetimes to present. That happened. And then she said something really profound. And she said, what I'm receiving is, and I hope this might resonate a bit with you, Shawn. I hope so. If not, that's okay. Or anybody listening. She said, sometimes when you're in a light worker, I know that tends to be overused nowadays, but stick with me for a sec. She said, there are certain times when individuals are called to bring that light to lessen the dark. And she said, that's the message I'm receiving for you. When she dissolved those contracts, she said that she did, this person never really heard from them again, didn't have a fight, have a disagreement, didn't have anything like that. And you know what, Shawn, it was really powerful. Like you said, I'm dealing with, I think part of my role is to deal with demons and really angry ghosts and things like that. But you have so much light, right? That's why I'm sharing this story, because, and please
you did. Thank you.
But
I remember when I just was starting, and I had I was dating a girl who was like a stalker, man. She's just stalking.
Oh no.
All right. So I got like 3 or 4 phone messages off of her in a row, and I'm like, I can't deal with this no more. And so what happened was I got back to my apartment, went into a meditation, and went out there with my wolf and his boys. Okay. And then, long story short, there was a bunch of pigs, the flying pigs. Yes. Wow. And she was sitting on the pigs, and it's plain as day. And so what happened, it was a hardcore battle, right? It was a hardcore battle. And so once when I got out of that meditation, my angels took care of it. I got a page from her. The minute she left, okay? And I listened to the page, and as God is my witness, hon, she said, "What are you doing to me?" Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, what? That was like, wow. And it when I was progressing, when I was a little bunny rabbit, a little pup wolf, I'm starting to do these things. It's just blowing my mind away. I couldn't go to people. I try to go to people to find an answer. Why is all this shit happening to me? Okay, why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And I was really confused, and I really, really didn't have anybody to tell me anything. But I will tell you this: Spirit
Yeah,
actually put people in my life
and they
to
do.
teach
It's
me,
very
and they
touching.
teach me. And when the lessons were over, never saw them again. And that's
And
the
that
truth.
happens, right? And
Hmm.
it's just that I think most of us, not everyone, but most of us have never been taught to see that world or how things can work. And I think too, like for example, with no arrogance, I think part of my lessons or part of my role here is to help for those that hear, to remind
Hmm.
them how incredibly powerful, not egotistically, but how powerful and divinely built we are as human beings, how
Right.
powerful our words, our thoughts, and our emotions are. And we
Hmm.
do not realize that because we've never been taught that. So when we speak, and we speak to ourselves within the mind space, the worst. Like most people would never say the words that all of us, and I've done it too, where we say terrible things to ourselves, but we don't realize how powerful we are. You mentioned at the beginning of the show, like you talk a little bit about witches, for example. A lot of it, like there's a reason why it's called spelling. There's a reason why, you know, there's words used with spells, with intention. Emotion can cause
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
confusion. We are powerful as human beings.
Yes. No. No. No shit. And that's true. And like Kurt says, the pen is mightier than the sword,
Mhm.
and that is so true. Um, but I have to share another one with you.
Oh, please do. Please do.
I got some. I don't even think I
You're
shared this
reading
on
my
my
mind,
show.
because I was going to ask you actually, because I wasn't worried about what we were going to talk about. I asked you.
Oh, cool.
You and I are never at a loss, but I was going to ask you, can you tell me
Oh,
about some of the incredible stories that you've
oh,
witnessed?
here,
So,
here we go. Here we go. So we were called out to we were called out to an apartment building. Okay,
mhm.
and there were two knucklehead teenage girls, 19 and 20. Okay, and they decided that they were going to be Wiccans and witches.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay, they, and they have
Yeah.
all dressed in black and the whole 9 yards, the makeup,
Awesome.
the whole 9 yards. And we walk in, and you could just feel the evil. And I mean, it was evil. It wasn't negative energy. It was evil energy, and um, it was coming from their bathroom. So,
Oh,
long
wow.
story short, I go into my meditation,
Mhm.
and any um, demon that I see in my meditations,
Mhm.
I, they look like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family.
As soon
So,
as you just started to say that, I could see it. I
yeah,
could see it.
they
Mhm.
look like Uncle Fester. And so um, I found them. Lakota was there. He had his boys there. I had my bears. I brought the whole zoo with me. But he had, and this is the first time I ever ran into one, were demon hounds. Okay.
Okay.
And I mean, my boys really put a fight in there. Okay. And I just couldn't do nothing with this guy. He was like half demon, half angry spirit. He wasn't quite a full demon, but I just
Call
really
them minions, and not in a good way.
couldn't.
Minions.
Yeah. So again, as God is my witness, I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, this dude is sitting in a chair facing me, right?
Mhm.
A circle, a circle came out of the ground. Okay. There was like a circle.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And it
Mhm.
came out, right?
Mhm.
And this big, dark figure, okay, came out of the circle, grabbed this dude's head, and brought him down
Oh,
through
wow.
that circle. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it closed up. No shit. The demon
So who
hounds
do
were
you
going.
think what came to get this being? What do you
Oh, I have
think?
no doubt it was one of Lucifer. No, I'm not going to say Lucifer. That's for another show. But one of Satan's people actually came. up and got him. Somebody big, someone that's kind of high ranking.
Well, why do you think they did? Like, just I'm really interested, like, because my experience, and I believe every word, because some of the things I have seen with my own eyes, it was like if I
Right.
had, I wouldn't have believed it.
I
So,
believe they're going to throw him into the valley of fire down there because he was trying to tried to be something that he
then he
wasn't.
wasn't. Okay,
Yes, I
that
do.
makes
And then he thought he could do it. You know how a person goes in and big and bad and stuff like that, and they're
well.
like,
I've
you know
tried
what,
to.
you're done. Boom, you're coming back with us.
I got you because maybe he was sent to accomplish something too, and he completely failed. Of course, he
Hmm.
had you to go up against, and so they said, "Yeah, you're done, dude, out of here." Right? But what
Hmm.
people don't realize, and I've said this to them, and especially I knew exactly what you were talking about. I have run into people like that that think they're big and bad and the best in the paranormal. And I always say it's not my job to judge. It's not my job. But I
Hmm.
know we all do as human beings, including myself. But I have run into people that go in with this arrogance, or when we were dealing with the really awful stuff in our previous home. Oh, I've never had anything happen to me ever. I don't
Yeah,
believe in this. Or it was, you just send it to me. I will take care of it. And what I've had to say to people with the utmost respect is, you have no idea what you are dealing with. You are just one tiny little puny
and
human.
yeah,
They have been around since the beginning of what we know as time. They
right,
are untruthful and they go after things you cannot control. They go after your
exactly,
they go after your innocent loved ones. They go after your finances, and they just keep knocking out the pegs to get you to a point where you are so you just feel like you got nothing left. And then that's when you're at your weakest energetically.
and that's
So
when they snatch you up.
ever tell somebody that you think you could take something on like that because you have no idea.
No,
Do you agree with me?
no, no, I
Mhm,
totally
mhm,
100% agree with you. People
mhm.
just that I don't know. I said call. There was like 3 or 4 times where my group was called into a house where another paranormal group went in first, saying they got rid of it, and these knucklehead wannabe psychics. Now I'm not judging. I'm just calling it as it is. They were knuckleheads, and they
Yeah,
made the
but they
place
also,
worse.
just because you got rid of it, you're dealing with things that are not going to be truthful, that are able to be hiding and what have you. You have
Right.
to see how it got in the first place, as
Hmm.
well as say it's an attachment or it's with somebody.
Right.
That person has to change their ways too, or it's just going to come back the minute the team's
Hmm.
left too, right?
That's why I tell a lot of people, no, you're right on that, but and that's why I tell a lot of people, you can sage to your heart's consent.
Yes.
You can put all the holy water in the world around your house, around your windows.
Mhm.
And I know the spirit will be gone, but
Yep.
eventually that's going to
It's
wear
coming
off.
back.
And it's coming back with a vengeance. And it's coming back with a vengeance.
Mhm.
Yes, it
But
is.
people
And
don't realize that, right? And again, we're thinking with our human eyes. I get that, but it just makes logically a lot of sense. There's
right.
a way it got in the first place. Now, I understand that there could be energy attached to the land and what have you, but it's almost like the perfect storm,
Yep.
right? And even people that don't believe in this kind of stuff, and I've met many, as I'm sure you have, until they moved to a certain place or something happened and they witnessed it. I have actually, and I would say with my previous home, we had a lot of people try and help. Thank God we didn't listen to everything. I've
Right.
since learned a lot and have evolved and grown and changed, and now have people. I have no shame in saying to someone, you know what, that's not my field of expertise, but I know so and so who would be
Right.
able to help, or things like this. But when we're using logic, there has to be a way with no blame how this is staying, or say it keeps returning, or how it got in the first place. We need to look at that. And especially if you
Exactly.
have human beings that through, I'm not blaming anybody, but people don't realize using substances can lessen your energetic field,
Yep.
depression, anger, being in a really negative state. And there's ways to change that. I mean, you're never going to say to somebody that's depressed, for example, oh, we'll fix that. That's not what I'm saying, but we can bring moments of joy into our life. And I used to hate to hear this all the time, Shawn. You've got to raise your vibration. I used to say, what the heck is that?
I'm tired. So what? Raise the
It's just
vibration.
finding little moments of joy. And I got that from my son when my son passed away in January. It was a couple days after, and I had said to Spirit, I hate feeling this way. And I said, what can I do about this? And the first piece of advice was, the only way through this is basically through this. And give yourself the grace and the space that some days it's going to be a good day, some days it's not, and that is okay. But you have to feel the emotions. The other thing, and it helps so much, even if it's for a minute, look for things that bring you moments of joy. Even if it's something silly, even if it's a funny movie, even if you're out shopping, it's something you would never buy in a million years if you had the money. I mean, don't go broke, obviously, anybody, but something that, for example, I love resin. And the Harry Potter they're called mini verses came out, and it was like honeydukes. I actually went and got those when they were out. I maybe done it before, but it brought me moments of joy. Does that make sense at all? Or
Makes a lot of sense. For me, it's prospecting gold, and that's, I have dirt, like 3 or 4 buckets of dirt that I need to pan. When I'm panning on my front porch,
right?
Okay, I'm not here. I'm not in this world. I
You
am out.
meditative, right?
I am so meditating, and I'm like, wow, I just want to be like this. I get wet. You get wet when you're gold panning. There's no doubt about that. But I'll go to a creek. And when I go to a creek and start digging, I just
And then
absorb
the
all.
moment if you find gold.
Oh, yeah. I'll wait till I get home, because I dig and fill up the buckets. But I tell you what, when I'm out there digging, and I feel all the little people out there, I feel all the energy coming from the flowers and the trees and the water.
Have you had
I
experiences like, say, with the Fae and stuff? And
Oh God, yeah, heck yeah, absolutely,
I'm going to read
absolutely.
Kevin's comment, and I'd love to hear more about that. So,
Okay.
Sun Dragon or Kevin says, I've sent evil back into a portal seen open. The evil, often squeals in defeat as you push it back into the portal with intense light and slam that portal door shut.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know who Kevin? You know who takes care of the ones I fight are my archangels. I use 4 of them. I use Uriel's the one. That's my number 1 dude. Okay, he's wherever I go, he goes, and I can feel him when he's with me, and he's with me all the time, because sometimes I'm a knucklehead, and he has to be
We're
there
all
to
knuckleheads, Shawn. We're
right.
human.
But I'm just saying, yeah, I can feel him. But I also use Michael. I also use Gabriel.
Yeah.
And I also use the decoy. And they come in. I'll go in. I'll battle. Right. And when they're defeated, the angels will come in, snatch them up, or snatch her up, and take them somewhere I do not know.
I
And
had that
then,
experience in my home, believe it or not. The first person locally that tried to remove what was there, and she told me she ran into so many things she'd never seen before. And I wish I had filmed what had happened when she tried to remove what was there. But it reminds me sort of what you said. She noticed, she came down to the basement in our old home, and she went around and sensed and stuff. And she is a real psychic, like very good at what she does. She goes, I don't think there's anything here. And I said, are you sure? And so she connected with her guides, and she said, wow, I've never seen this before. What was upstairs that was removed, and I asked that you be able to, basically she was asking if they could be crossed over, and she was told no, we will be bringing them elsewhere. She was not told where, but I guess
they
took
don't.
what was upstairs, they took what was downstairs as well at the same time.
I like what Brian has there: moon, fire, and aurora energy. That's Good.
Oh, Sean. Yeah. Kevin, he says, I have 4 main guides as well: Sean, Sun, Moon, Fire, and Aurora
Yeah.
energy are their powers. Is that the one? And their essence?
Yes, that's
I
it.
was going
But
to read Michelle. She's over on TikTok. So she's put some great comments here. We weren't ignoring you, I promise. So Michelle, backing up a bit, said, I'm so glad I didn't listen to some of the things people told me to do, because she lives in a haunted apartment. She is my moderator over on TikTok. And I'm going to remind people, please be nice on TikTok, because somebody was doing something silly, because I had no problems with my account. We got bumped off for 5 days, and we'd love to have the people over on TikTok because it's fun. More people get to join in. Michelle also said, I had said to you, Sean, I'm so glad we didn't listen to some of the people when I was first learning all this. We would have been in a much worse state too, Michelle. And then she added, I like plants. I love gardening. It's very relaxing and peaceful. And then she added, yes, Sean, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, they do protect me.
I'm glad. I'm so glad. That just gave me chills, man. They just gave me chills.
And Heidi, do you want to read what Heidi said there?
She says, I have only once filled my whole being with intense light and told this thing that if it didn't back up, I would blast it with light. It reached in for my hand, and I just felt like I omitted the...
Maybe. Emitted?
The brightest light. It felt intense.
Yeah, she says emitted. Here it is. Brightest light. It felt very, yeah, right. Like you said, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
but I mean,
though.
Drastic things.
What about the Fae? I got off on a tangent. What about the Fae when you're out prospecting? I'd love to hear some of your stories.
Oh God, I hear them. I hear them. I honest to God see them.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I really look for the mushroom rings is what I really look for, or the mushroom rings. But I hear them, I see them, I feel them. They come buzzing by my face, and I guess I'm on good terms with the Fae because they really don't bother me.
Don't bother me either, no.
Every now and then I'll throw some milk and honey out, you know, for them.
Crystals,
I don't know if it's, you got to. Plus, it gives the cats the cats that hang around, you know, something to drink too. Yeah, like a treat, but mainly
I
for
have
the
a
Fae.
crazy story about the Fae. I have lots, but I have one. Do you want to hear it quick?
No, please tell me.
Okay, so when I was on my previous network, it was my first week on there, and I had been involved with a group I called the Voldemort group. It shall not be named, but I did meet some good people out of there. And I was working with this younger kid, and he in the group, and he was also psychic and what have you. And one night he says to me, I know you. I said, of course you know me. We've been working together. I've talked to you for weeks. No, I knew you back in a previous life. And I said, really? And so he proceeds to say, I didn't question him. He says he was an angel in a previous life back on this earth. And he said, back in the day, and this is going to sound crazy till I tell the bit of the story. I'll try to go as quick as I can. He said, he goes, do you know who Lady Titania is? And they said, nope. And he said, I think it's from Macbeth, I think. Yeah. She was in the fairy realm. He said, you were her sister. He describes me, and he said, I had this long, it was very tall, long, black, shiny, silky hair, straight. And he said any hair commercial would have loved to have had that hair. He said, you have these silvery gray eyes, and you used to wear a crown with black twisted like twigs and thorns. And he said, you weren't evil, but you certainly didn't take any crap. And you would, if someone crossed you, they were going to be sorry they did. And he said, I used to call you Maeve. And all of a sudden I went, that wasn't my full name. My name was Maven. I just knew this. Then I draw, but I don't do it that often. I sat down that night and I started to draw. And I drew this really incredible, I'm not a great artist, but it just was so incredible. It came to life so quickly. And it wasn't my pet. It wasn't my familiar. We were equals. It was like a Pegasus, but it had horns, and then the unicorn, it was all white. I knew its name was Chloe. Okay, so all that being said, I'm also taking my crystal Reiki, like getting attuned to get my crystal Reiki masters thing that I do with Reiki. And my master at the time said, I'll meet you in a meditation, because there was a whole class. And she said, and I'll know if you're not there. I never fall asleep, ever. I fell asleep when she did the attunement. And I messaged her after, and she goes, oh, don't worry. There's no space. There's no time. There's not anything. I know it's a bit of a long story, but this is crazy. And I still have the recording to prove this. Mm-hmm. So that was a Friday night, I think. Okay, she did it. I decide I'm going to sit down on a Tuesday and listen to the attunement. And thinking, what can I sit on? And I do love unicorns. So I had just bought this beautiful white fluffy blanket, almost looked like a unicorn. And my hair, I had tied back at the back of my neck, and I had all these crystals around me. So I'm listening to the meditation, and I just about fell off the blanket because she says, and remember this 5 days before she does this, you guys, she says, I see you sitting, you're sitting on some kind of white fluffy kind of blanket. She goes, I see all these crystals all around you. She goes, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen your hair that way before. It's all tied back behind you like this. And there's 15 sigils, if you will, for crystal Reiki. One of them is the 7-pointed star. She then proceeds, because she goes through, you get attuned to each symbol when you're finishing your course. And she goes, I don't know what it's about your higher self with that 7-pointed star. She goes, your higher self took that, slapped it on your forehead, and all of a sudden I see you. She says, you have this black, high kind of twisted crown of twigs. And she describes me like this guy does from my previous life, past life, like a couple months before. Okay, I just about fell over. This is 5 days after she'd already. And then she sends me. Cool. Wait, there's one last part. She goes, I didn't even know I had this. She goes, but I'm hearing from Spirit, I have to send it to you. And it was a figurine of a fairy with monarch wings. I can't make this up, Shawn. I don't know. That is the craziest things that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that story, Lord. Thank you for sharing that story with us.
But it's crazy, right? Like this kind of stuff that we experience, and it sounds like we're making it up. And it's like, believe me, I would make something else up, not stories like this, right? And like what you shared.
Now, see, I feel safe talking about my experiences on my shows, and on the show like this, because people do understand. Now, I have one more story to share with you.
Please do. Thank you for hearing me out. I know it was a bit of a long story.
No, it wasn't. It was perfect, man. But this was a true story. So back a long time ago when I was egotistical, okay, and I just banished some type of like evil, not evil, but a bad spirit. And people were praising me, okay. So my ego kicked in, and I just said out loud into the chat room, I said, I'm so good, I can take on Satan.
I can't see you saying that, but okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And so God allowed that to happen. Okay. God allowed that to happen.
I think I spoke over your last part. Please, you said, I think I can take on, did you say Satan?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, dear Lord. I'm sorry. Please continue.
That's okay. And God allowed that. But he was not allowed to hurt me. Okay. But God allowed Satan to come in. Now, I was living in my attic here.
Wow.
I was sick for 3 days. I couldn't move. I was getting pounded left and right. I mean, it was terrible. I went from this egotistical maniac to someone that just got their asses kicked for like 72 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
And what happened was, on the third day, and as God is my witness, this is the truth, the devil was leaving. Okay. And as he was leaving, he turned around and he said, if you want to try this again, just give me a call.
No.
I said, I don't think so. And then he started walking away. Then he turned around and he looked at me and he said, quote unquote, I give you a lot of credit.
Okay.
And I'm thinking,
that's pretty high praise coming from that source.
Yeah. And it blew me away when he said that. And he looked at, and I asked him, well, why do you do that? Why do you give me all this credit?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you never backed down from me. You kept coming at me. And for that, I give you a lot of credit for that. Contessa had goosebumps, and it's the truth.
That is
And he's not what people think what Satan looks like. He is not with the horns. He is a good looking dude, man. Good looking dude.
And the thing is, people don't realize, like, if you've never dealt with these kind of things, and I've said I don't even wish it on a blade of grass, but I give you mad props. And the fact that, and I know that's not what you were looking for or why you shared the story,
No,
but
I wasn't. No, I don't share that story a lot.
But I'm glad that
I don't
you
share
did, because I'm just in awe, because when you've dealt with these type of things as you and I have, I always think there's a fine line between fear and standing in your power and dominion and knowing, right? And I'm almost speechless, because I wasn't there. I didn't experience it, but I can't even imagine what that must have been like for you for almost 3 days. Well, 3 days.
Oh man, it was bad, man. I felt like I was in the ICU. It was terrible. It was terrible. Couldn't eat, man. It was terrible, but it woke me up, and it didn't prove nothing. I don't believe in coincidence.
I think it proves how powerful you are in the way
but
of.
I don't want it. But see, hon, that bothers me. Now, not now. It don't, because I know who I am, what I can do. Okay, I can melt a person's brain if I really seriously wanted to. Okay, but at the time, I was still at where I didn't want people to put me on a pedestal. Okay, because I felt like that I am equal around other people. I want to be equal to people, and when people would start highly talking about stuff to me, I just had to run away from it, because A, I didn't want people to feel that way about me, and B, I wasn't used to all the compliments. And I had to keep reminding myself, and I had to keep telling people, it's not me. My body is a vessel. Okay?
That's it. I always say I'm the mailman. It's not me.
No, it's not me.
The conduit. I like what you said, the vessel, the conduit, right? It's not me.
Yes, it's not me. It's spirit that takes care of all that crap. All that stuff. It's not me. I'm just a vessel. And,
I like. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
And that's just how I feel. But now I'm really, really humble now when it comes to the paranormal, when it comes to ghosts, when it comes to demons and stuff like that. And I'm okay with it. They usually run away. They don't come.
Because you stand it, like I say, we're all blessed with that dominion and that light. But I've always said, and I'm going to read Contessa's comment. Gosh, this 2 hours has flown by. We got to do this again, Shawn.
Sure.
Because, there's a fine line between fear and standing in your dominion, especially if you can't see what you're being attacked by. But having that faith in standing, and I'm not an uber religious person, but we've talked about angels tonight, and I definitely as well work with them, love them. Part of the reason why the show is called The Angel Rock. But standing and knowing and trusting, I know it sounds cliche, but you take that leap of faith and the net will appear.
Right.
It will always be there. And I love what Connie or Contessa says here. I believe that, Shawn. I've always said, if he comes, he's going to look his best to get you reeled in.
True. True.
This
Definitely
just flew by.
Yes,
We're almost out of time, but I want to remind people, please don't go anywhere, because Preston Dennett and Dolly Saffron are coming up next with the light gate. Let me check in with TikTok. Thank you, Michelle Wilfong, for modding over there. Thank you for your comments, everybody tuning in. Shawn, can you tell everybody what's coming up for you? You got your show tomorrow night and Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Find you.
Yeah. So everybody knows that this past Sunday I did a show on the Salem witch trials. Okay.
Ooh, I gotta
Yes,
rewatch that.
Yeah, please do. It was pretty cool. Now tomorrow night it's going to be about the aftermath of the witches trial.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What happened? What occurred after the Salem witch trials? And I think it's going to be cool. And next Sunday, me and CL comes on my she comes on and co-hosts my show with me every other Sunday. So it's her turn to get it's her turn to get a guest, and we're gonna, you know what I mean. So she does co-host with me. She's on the Gateway podcast on Tuesday nights right after mine.
I met her because I help with a lot of producing behind the scenes. Not a lot, but if Michelle needs help or Joe needs help, I will fill in if they're not available. And I love it because then I get to meet if we've got new hosts or new shows.
Absolutely.
So that's why I love it.
Thank you for having me on, sweetheart. I appreciate it.
I'm so glad you came on. Everybody's saying great show. We're so glad you tuned in. I saw a few new names here, and I know that you're fans of Shawn, so I hope you'll come back. It was welcome to see you here. I know we got our usual crew, and you guys always support everyone, but it's always nice to see new names out there. And I want to thank you so much. I want to thank Carnation for sponsoring Mondays here on UPRN for all of our shows. So if you see the brand where you live, please help support them because they support us so we can have shows like this. Also, again, stay tuned for Dolly and Preston coming up next. Now, if you ever want to get a hold of me, right now, I'm working on a domain name. I'm looking at putting my first course out with one of my closest friends. She's been on the show before, Leanne Clark. We are talking about September. We are going to try and get it out then. And it's to basically build a good foundation, getting into energy principles, because I believe everybody has these gifts and so on and so forth. I want to keep prattling on here. I got 1 minute. But so right now you can find me on facebook.com/theangelrock, or just hit me up on social media. I do psychic readings, mediumship. I do Akashic records. I do crystal Reiki, and I do teaching and mentoring. I do have 2 groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, and the Angel Rocker Tribe for more things spiritual. Now, next week I have Mark, I believe it's Beale, and I was trying to find his letter because I have a wonderful editor over in Wales who sends me some of these wonderful guests that we get to visit with. I believe we're talking about UFOs. He's written a new book about it. Seems super nice in the email, so I'm looking forward to it. Also, Carrie Lynn and I will be back on Thursday, 7 p.m. Sorry, Cecilia and Bertha aren't coming back, but they will be coming back in the future. So that's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you again, Shawn, so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Kurt, thank you, buddy.
We love you all.
We love every one of y'all, and that's the truth.
I got to remember to remove my intro video. Poor people, before I get off you here, poor people be thinking now that you can add it, they'll be saying, why is that Angel Rock intro on there? Anyways, you guys, we love you all. We'll see you next week.
Love you all too. Bye-bye.
Okay, have a good one.